Hey guys, it's David from Automotive Press. Guess what I'm driving? This is a first generation Lexus SC. You guys know that I own a second generation Lexus SC 430, which is a 2004, but this is the original first gen. So for all intents and purposes, this is like a Lexus version of the Supra. It's a beautiful example of a car I'm driving as part of Lexus Canada 35th anniversary this week. So I'm driving all kinds of older cars, but also newer cars. And this is the one that really stole my heart because I own Lexus SC already. But I always wanted the first gen SC. I just can't seem to find one in good shape. They're so rare these days. So I thought it would be really fun to do a bit of a classic heritage car review where I go through the same kind of stuff I do with a new car, but this time I'm doing it on this 1995 SC. So let me do my usual audit checks. I'll look at the interior as well and go for a drive. Let's go. Welcome back. This is really sharing most of the components with the Supra, not just the engine, but also underneath as well. So think of this as a Lexus version of the legendary Supra, and therefore I am in love with this car. Maybe even more so than my SC430. Once I drive it, I'll know for sure which one I like better. But right now, let me do a quick check on quality to see if back in those days, almost 30 years ago, if the quality was as good as those cars built today from Lexus. And I'm kind of shocked because the actual quality is amazing. This is 3.1 millimeter there, 2.7 millimeters. Assuming this one haven't had body work, this may be the tightest tolerance I've seen. Let's just check the other side to see if it's the same thing on that side. And yes, it is. It's just as tight, 3.1 millimeter there and 2.8. So this may be the tightest tolerance I've ever seen because I've never seen a car that's less than 2.9 millimeter of all the cars I've done this year. But the gap here is bigger though, at 3.8 millimeter. And then over here is 3.3 millimeter. And at the trunk over here is 3.1 millimeter. So overall, still fantastic body work. Everything lines up. Everything looks fantastic. I'm not 100% sure if the paint is original. I believe it is. I think it is. And it looks really, really good. Wheels, everything looks amazing. It's over 200,000 kilometers on this car, but still drives like a brand new car. Of course, I'll tell you more about it when I get into the car. But I love this design. This was designed by Calty, or California studio, owned by Toyota/Lexus. And back in those days, this would have been a very progressive design. I still remember driving this as a press car because I was already an automotive journalist and people were always looking at it. It's a head turner, beautiful design, unlike anything else out there, very different from Supra. And it has this unique design that is still beautiful in my eyes today. So really amazing quality. I think the body work is super solid. Back in those days, metals were thick. There was no aluminum. Even the bumper feels solid. It's just really well built, beautiful design. Now let's take a look inside. So now I've hopped inside the Lexus SC. Again, this is 1995, so 30 years old. But everything looks amazing. The quality of the materials. They use real wood here, not simulated wood. Real leather as well. And just the fit and finish is astonishing. Look at the gaps between some of the parts. Everything fit. Everything still works. Look at this cute cup holder that opens up. Look at that, isn't that amazing? It's a bit flimsy though, and won't fit anything big from Starbucks these days, but still kind of cute design. Of course, we still had cassette tape back in those days, but you know what? Everything just looks right. Now there's obviously some scratches and so forth because this is a vehicle with 214,000 kilometers, but overall it looks fantastic. It had a sunroof over here as well. And surprisingly comfortable in terms of interior. Even in the rear seats were quite useful and quite practical. Very open, airy feeling with the big windows on the side and the quarter panel windows in the rear as well. It definitely feels really, really airy and just a beautiful example of what artwork looks like. I call this artwork because it really is. It's more than just a car. This is a rolling art on wheels. Everything works. Air conditioning is still very, very cold. Great stereo as well. This is a Nakamichi stereo system. That's what they used to use back in those days. Amazing quality. I think you cannot beat the sound quality of Nakamichi. And yeah, so even though it's missing a lot of the modern features, it is still astonishingly, amazingly good. It still opens up like this. Big compartment there. So of course, the most important question is, what does it feel like to drive? So let's take it on the road and see how it feels and how it drives, especially compared to my 2004 Lexus SC 430, which is a second generation. This is the first generation SC. So let's go for a drive. So now I have this beautiful Lexus SC on the road. It's an amazing car to drive. Yes, it is 1995, so it is 30 years old basically, and it has about 214,000 kilometers, but it still drives like new car, you know, in terms of fit and finish. There's no squeaks or rattles. The engine still kind of purrs. Transmission shifts just fine. The brakes feel fine. It is just remarkable that a 30-year-old car can feel this good. It's still very solid. Hydraulic power steering, so you get lots of feedback. Although I was a little bit surprised that the steering is a little bit lighter than I thought, because my 2004 Lexus SC 430, which is the next gen, has a pretty heavy steering, has lots of feedback on it. Compared to that one, this feels more like a luxury coupe, less like a sports car, which surprised me a little bit. But the engine is just really smooth. It's still very quiet, fun to drive. Wow, this is just astonishing that I'm driving a 30-year-old Lexus and I'm enjoying it, because you might think it's so old you won't like it. No, I'm just loving driving this, and it makes me want to buy another Lexus SC, one that's older than mine, because mine is a newer generation with a 4.3 liter V8 engine. But I always have a soft spot for this generation of SC, because the design was unique back then. I actually remember driving from San Francisco to LA in a press car, which was a Lexus SC, and actually that was with my wife. We were kind of in the honeymoon, and we drove the SC 400 for many hours, about 12 hours, and I fell in love with that car. But it was still a very expensive car for me to buy at that time, so I couldn't afford it. It's the first time I'm driving this generation of Lexus SC ever since back in those days, 25-30 years ago, so it's kind of really interesting to come back to this one. I will admit though that my SC 430 feels better overall. Obviously it's newer, lower mileage as well, and just, you know, it's kind of more fun to drive. It feels a little bit smoother and everything. So overall, given a choice, I would still take my SC 430 over this SC. So if I could find good condition, the SC 400 1995 or slightly newer, that would be an amazing car to own, amazing car to drive, and maybe I should keep an eye on that, because essentially this is like a Supra in disguise. It shares the basic platform with the Supra. It shares some of the powertrain and components as well. So in many ways this is kind of like a Lexus version of the Supra. So it's just a beautiful example of a car to drive, and I'm really happy and excited to have this chance to drive this SC. If you like the SC, so if you like older Lexus or Toyota models, please let me know in the comments below. If you could give me a thumbs up, that would be great. And if you haven't subscribed yet, would you kindly subscribe as well. Until next video, I'm signing off for now. Thank you so much.